Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the decoding of small soldiers, decoding slash discussion. Um, Getting started, would any of the children like to share their thoughts on what we just watched? Any interesting things that they may have noticed? Um, their ideas on what this movie was about? Small Soldiers, directed by Joe Dante, 1998. Zeri, Evelyn, Leia.
Oh, sorry.
Hey,
Okay, Leia, you can go first.
I'm ready to go first.
Okay, well, think about the movie. I think it was pretty. I think it was interesting that they had that much power and they blew up so many stuff, and I think that's really
Wait,
crazy.
who do you mean by when you say they? Who do you mean?
Like the soldiers, the
Oh yeah,
sol-
the Commandos.
yeah, the commandos. I can't believe that they blew up that many things and what else? Do you have anything? Well, I think the movie was cool, but I don't understand how they could blow up so many things. Like,
Well, what did y'all think the movie was about?
It was about that you see the soldiers, they trying to be free. You see, the Gorgons trying to be free. So they so 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 they are fighting the those humans because they want to be free. So Alan let them free after they kill the other ones. Because I think when they went to the store trying to destroy it, I forgot what the word called, but it started with an N. While they was like going through the store, it means that they want to be free because they look like they're a slave.
So the movie is about the Gorgonites trying to be free, Leia.
Yep.
And Z, Evelyn, would you guys like to share your thoughts on what you thought the movie was about?
I think the movie was about a war between what was it, the Gorgoners or something, and the commanders. Yeah, I think it was just about a war between them. And I don't get how the Gorgoners were hiding and stuff. I think they should have maybe thought of a plan. To try and attack. Or should I don't know. What do you think? What do you think the movie about? Um, Just think of anything that you think the movie is about. I think the movie was about the Gorgonators trying to be free. Yeah. I think. Yeah, I think the commanders were really. Yeah.
Yeah, I also think the movie was about a war, a war between the Commandos and the Gorgonites. The only difference is that the Commandos are the only ones who seem to be directly engaging in warfare against the Gorgonites. The Gorgonites seem to be hiding or not really trying to fight. But the Commandos were really aggressive and really serious about the fight. And that's really, really similar to what's happening in reality. I don't know how many of y'all caught this, but on Alan's computer, it said question reality. And I think that's a really constructive slogan for Alan to have on his computer, because it's really true. We should question our reality. So back to what I was saying, the Gorgonites are not really trying to fight. They're really not trying to participate in the war. But y'all saw throughout the movie, the commandos are coming at them hard, right? They're coming at them with everything they have, right? Right, y'all?
Yeah.
So
See,
yeah, so the commandos are the white people in our reality, the white people who are waging the race war against black people, non-white people, and the Gorgonites are like non-white people. They don't want to fight in the war. They don't want to think about the war. They just want to hide and avoid the war. And so that's who the Gorgonites are, and you can see that in how in the movie the Gorgonites had the least power, and they were mistreated the most, and the commandos had the most power, and they were mistreated. They weren't they weren't being mistreated. They were actually the people who were causing the mistreatment. I thought that part was really interesting. Definitely a movie about the race war happening right now, that white people have started a long time ago. In 2021, the same race war that black people are hiding from, non-white people are like the Gorgonites are. It's like we're hiding in a dumpster. It's like the Gorgonites were away from the war because we don't want to deal with it. Any thoughts on that, y'all? And on what I just shared? Does that sound accurate?
yes, it is.
Is there anything you guys would like to add to it?
I wanted to ask a question. I'm sorry, you guys. Who was the one that said we were programmed like that? Who had said that to the action figures or whatever? Or you guys were programmed like this?
Yeah, that scene was very telling when they're going over I think it may have been Archie, where he's like, we were programmed to lose and hide. We were programmed to hide and lose.
Yeah.
And I that's very, if you understand racism and white supremacy, non-white people, white people, black people, we're all programmed in very specific ways. And black people are programmed literally just like the Gorgonites were, to be afraid, to not be serious about the race war, and the white people are trained, programmed to be very serious about the race war, to be happy and ready for it. Leia, you'd like to add?
What's the Negro quiz?
Huh?
I got a question for Grace Johnson. The question is, what is the word means that hold on. Start with the end. Remember you said when a figure went in the trying to go in the store. Yeah, it's supposed to start with the, like nev, like stuff. No, start with the N. No. Yeah. What's the Gordonites is means?
Oh, what does the Gorgonites mean?
Yep.
Um, we would have to do some deciphering because I don't know if it's a real word. It's mostly a combination of words, and I believe a gorgon is a creature in Greek mythology. I believe it was like three sisters who had like heads of snakes or whatever, and
Mhm.
it also could be referring to Medusa. She may have been a gorgon as well, and a knight is it just means that what something is basically like NITE. So we have to get to the meaning of what gorgon means. But I'm trying to see if I can find what gorgon means. But while I'm looking, does anyone else have any comments about the movie?
I got comments for the movie. You see, I think the Fox is the man, that who creates those other soldiers of the next commercial, the shoulders. That was him Fox. Cause he didn't even pay attention. And I was thinking that the man that said that, oh, it's real life. But I was like, ain't real life. Everything that who move is in real life. And then I thought like, oh, it's funny, it's not real life, okay? And then after that, I found out that that it actually is real life. And one more thing, I just hate him. I just hate this man who created this toy, and I hate this boss that who thinks that it's real life. I mean, can you see? I could just call 911. Somebody can call 911 instead of hiding somewhere and doing all that stuff. You're supposed to call 911 and then hide.
Oh, so you're talking about how in the movie it took a long time for them to call 911? Leia?
Yeah, I thought this white one that who made it, because you see that the toy is real life. Why did he design that in real life, which he didn't even notice?
Mm. Yeah, that's what would happen. They put military grade technology inside the toys, and that's what made them come come to life basically, and fulfill their programming.
Hmm.
Mm.
And it's this white fault. It's the ugly white boss fault. Because can you see why does he even like fire him? He should have fired him, because he didn't fire him because he's white.
Yeah,
It looked like the soldiers are black, and the white people that designed it is white. Some calling them white ugly if they want to make them nicknames. Because the boss even didn't even fire him. That's illegal.
yeah, I agree. I agree. He should have been fired, but because he is white, and he has white power, he did not get fired. And I want to talk about the soldiers really quickly. And the only black commando is voiced by Jim Brown, the legendary Jim Brown. But his name is Butch Meat Hook. So that's really really interesting, and he's also
the biggest and buffest commando of the group of commandos as well. So that could be racist imagery. I think it is racist imagery. Um, there's actually no black people in the movie besides like the person who works at like the shipping warehouse where the toys are shipped from. That is a black male working there, but besides that, there's no black male, black people, other black people in the movie. It's the white boys, and it's a white man, a white boy child actually, and white females and white women who are the heroes of this film, who are the problem solvers of this film. Even though the Gorgonites are coded as black people, as non-white people, they are still helped by the white child. They still have white saviors. So that's also very interesting. The victims still needed the help of racist men and racist women to solve their problems and to help them win the war between the Gorgonites and the commandos.
There was one thing in the movie that I heard that was like really weird. I still trying to figure out what it means. The commander, like the white guy that was like the leader, he said to the girl, I forgot her name, but he said like we all want to be saved, and I was like, what? I didn't really know what that means. I was kind of confused about that. If any of you guys know what that means, because I was like, what? And I don't get how the Gorgonites, they didn't make any plan. They're just hiding. I think they should have made a plan, because then if they didn't go out and they're just hiding, then it was called, I think the like the leader and the commander and stuff, they would have already took down everything. Do you have any notes? Do you have any notes? Do you have notes?
I'd agree with you. I literally you should make a. I'd agree with you there. I really do, because they should make a plan. Don't make a plan, then you're almost about to be dead. You're almost gonna be dead.
Yeah, I think they should.
You're almost gonna be dead if he doesn't make no plan.
Like,
But
yeah.
they lucky, because if he don't make a plan, they'll be dead. And it's gonna be naked like this man run away.
Ev, actually, you can say something. You can say Ev.
Okay, so I have some notes, and
Oh my god. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. The Major Chip Hazard says he has a bunch of interesting quotes that he says throughout the movie, and it's quite hilarious, because he's like a caricature of all like these famous white supremacist race soldiers, basically. Like there's a reference to General Patton in this film, where he's Major Chip Hazard is talking, and he has the giant flag behind him. That's white people giving glory and celebration to their previous leaders, white racist leaders who did a wonderful job at destroying non-white people, basically. And he has a one liner where he's like, ain't war hell. And then there's another part where he asks someone in the film, he's like, are you scared? that he says like I'm scared too, and I think that was really interesting because that is like the the psychopathy, like the psychopathic nature of white people. Because of course he wasn't scared. Well, he wasn't scared in that moment. He was just practicing direct violence and having fun doing so. So his character is just meant to be like a really really efficient and dedicated race soldier. Um, and Evelyn, no reason to if you have notes to share, no need to be shy. Um,
I'm
Evelyn,
not shy. I got no. I got no.
oh, no,
Now here.
I was talking to Evelyn, not you, Leah. Go ahead, Leah.
Okay. Okay, this one is white people are entertaining the kids for the beginning for a moment. And then his white ugly boss thinks that his toy's life. That's what I find out is life. Those toys move. And this white woman knows his business. And and those toys, this man is had to be fired.
Thank you, Leah. Thanks for. So is there anything that you all learned from this film? Anything like that you learned from
Yes,
what?
I know I'm gonna learn.
Well,
I learned that I should not trust white people. I should let some black people free. And I should fire people when something doing wrong and never give one more chance.
that the first one you said is very constructive. We should not trust white people because they are very 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 potentially dangerous. So no, it's really stupid and silly for us to trust white people ever. So thanks for that, lady. That's really important. Every black person needs to have that in their mind. Yeah, and people should be fired when they put some people's lives in jeopardy and danger, like the white people did in this movie. Was there anything else that folks learned?
I wanted to say in the beginning of the movie when he was the guy was like, "Oh, I think that's too violent," and he was like, um, "Action is violent." Um, in that meeting, so just to know that to them, you know, basically violence is action. It's a form of entertainment, and especially how they're trying to program it for children. It was mind-boggling. And then when is his name Archie, the cat, the head of the Garganite? What was he say? Alvin, I think. When he said, um, "No, if we keep running, they win. Well, no, if they keep running, we lose." It's just a sense of how we always are running from our issues and our problems, and instead of just basically facing our fears head on because we're in a state of always losing. We just kind of need to stop running behind this situation of being under attack.
Mm. Yes, Miss Johnson, that was that was a great scene, and just and displaying white people and how they will use words, because one of the white people is like, isn't that a little violent? And he's like, well, we won't call it violent, we'll call it action. So that's just how an example of how white people will change their words, but will still have the meaning that they want to have behind the words, because action is violence. They're promoting violence and celebrating violence by calling it action, by calling toys action figures. They're really violent figures. They represent violence. They represent war making and white supremacy, essentially. And yeah, so I really appreciate that team. And another really um accurate statement in the film that was mentioned is that how first of all, the company that makes these toys is called Global Tech. And I believe the driver, the old guy who Alan uses his white power to get the toys from early. I believe he says that in a few years that the whole world is going to be owned by a big corporation. And if one does their research, they can say that they will find that that's almost 100% here already. A small number of big corporations actually has or owns a large majority of the news outlets and production companies throughout the on the planet. When I say production company, I don't mean like film industry. I mean like production companies of resources, of materials that we need for our everyday comforts and whatnot. So this movie has a lot of truth sprinkled throughout. It's just hidden really well inside this movie. It's hidden really well in the comedy and the nonsense that the movie puts in front of us. Because the average person who may look at this movie and they could chalk it up to, like, a fun movie about toys that come alive. But what this movie is really about is about the race war, an actual race war taking place on the planet right now. 2021, this race war is going on. White people started the race war a long time ago. White people are very serious about the race war. Black people are not. Black people are hiding from it. Black people are afraid to admit it. And most black people don't even know the race war is going on. So the black people are the Gorgonites and the white people are the commandos in this film. And the white people are also Alan, also his girlfriend. They're the people who get things done. They're the people who solve the problems. And the black people are the ones who don't have a plan. The Gorgonites did not have a plan. Black people did not have a plan to solve racism and white supremacy. So this film is really significant. I think it may have even more messages hidden in it that we just are not able to decode, um, because it may be just hidden in there so well. But another thing that's mentioned throughout the movie is that there will be no mercy. That kept getting brought up. There will be no mercy. The commandos will have no mercy for the Gorgonites. Um, Children, participants, white people have no mercy for black and non-white people in the system. So that's what that means. If you're a black female or a black male, expect no mercy in this system. Expect to be mistreated, expect to be destroyed, expect all of that, because the system gives you no mercy. Just how in this film, the Gorgonites were given no mercy. That's also something that we should learn from this film, is that us black people, us non-white people are not gonna get mercy. This is why we should want to win the war, or put an end to it. Is everyone understanding that? Is that making sense to everyone?
C. Oh, Zeri mic doesn't work either.
Were there folks who had something to
I wanted to say about Lieutenant Chip when he tied the white girl up. Well, when the Barbies did, and the white girl was scared. He was like, "We all have fear. You'll be crazy to not have fear."
oh yeah.
It just lets me know that white people are driven by fear, and we are held back by fear. So
Yeah.
yes, we all work with fear.
That's an interesting it's some really great insight. White people are driven by fear and non-white people are stopped by fear. We are controlled by fear. Um, that's very, very significant. Thanks for sharing, Miss Carice. Well, for the children, was there anything else that y'all noticed that wanted to share? So I have a question. Who are the white supremacists in this film, and who are the victims?
Okay. Look, the white supremacy is the white boss. Okay, those figures.
The commandos.
Yeah, and those two white men.
What about Alan?
Okay, completely yes. Because even the girl, cause the he been on his business. Okay. And it's Alan because he should be the white supremacy person because he didn't make a plan.
I think that my mic's working. I think that is the commanders or like I think the commanders because they were like tying up people. I think the victims are the Gorgonites. I think they're the victims because they kept on hiding, and I think they should have like attacked or something.
All right. The correct answer is the white supremacists in this film is the commandos and every other white person, and the victims is the Gorgonites and every other non-white person or creature in the film. And that's always going to be the answer. The white supremacist is always going to be the white child, the white man, or the white woman. And the victim is always going to be the person not white. That's always the dynamic, the relationship between white and non-white, black and white. That's always going to be the relationship until we solve the problem. So just so we have an understanding of what we're talking about here, who are the victims in this film and who are the white supremacists?
Okay. So the victim was the gorge and the white ones or the all white all white all those people all the people white the people and um This could be the boss. And the superior. Okay.
It sounded like you said that the white people and the Gorgonites were victims, which can't be correct in the system of white supremacy. White people cannot be victims of white supremacy.
No. I'm not trying to say that. I was trying to say the Gore was victim and all those white people are not.
What are the white people? Are they we've been talking about it the entire discussion. What are the white people?
White supremacists.
Exactly.
White supremacists.
White supremacists, racists, the enemy, whatever you want to call them. We just have to understand what we're talking about and what we're dealing with. Was there anything else that any of the children noticed that they wanted to share before we wrap up?
Okay. Just one more thing. Okay, you see, those white people should have called the police. Yeah, they did call the police, but they called police late. So I'm disappointed about that. Because white people call the police late. If I will be in this situation, hold on, I got a question for you, for all of you. What you do if you were in this situation?
I think I would have I think I would have did the best I could to not be harmed by the commandos and to solve the problem.
I think I would have. I think that the time when Alan, or when he told the people that like the company that made the commanders and all the toys like them, I think that I would have did that because, but I don't get how the guy that like discovered them or like kind of made them, like he didn't even care. Like if someone reported it, that I would have like went right away, like if that was happening.
Okay, I know my own question that I can answer. I will be calling 911. If I don't have a lot of ice cream, then I will throw the ice cream at the machine. I will water I'll water it, the fire, the gas thing. Cause if you water it, then it will like explode, and then I could just water it all out. And then after I run it all out, there's no more fire. If the guns, I would just been using the table as my shield, and then sneak behind them, and then smush them down with my basketball, and then smush everybody else with it. And that's what I've been doing. And then the police will come, and then they will kill them all, and then I'm gonna be good. Just got a good job.
Thank you for that very detailed answer. Um, so my final question: who did we think was the most constructive characters in the movie and why?
Can you see the gorge? The gorge. Can you see they burned that house down? They burned their house down. No, I changed my mind. It was the boss. Because the boss, it was the man. The man should be the the um the spokesperson because he made him. He made him. He made him. There is not a way. And then I think they were both of them, the gorge and the man fought because the man made him, and the gorge made a other army to destroy this person's house because he want to be free, but they then did a nice way to be free. So that was both of them fought.
I think that nobody was constructive. Or would you say? Like, what was the question again?
What did you think? Who do you think were the constructive characters?
I don't think nobody. Cause like I was gonna say, like the gourd, like them. But then I thought like they were hiding, so I don't think that's constructive. So I don't think any of them really.
Yeah, I think I'll have to agree with Lay. I think um probably the most constructive person was maybe the boss because he had the the resources to solve everyone's problem at the end. And also Alan, the white child, he was kind of constructive for helping to solve the problem at the end. And the Gorgonites, they became constructive once they overcame their fear and they were able to practice a little bit of counter war. They
Yeah,
became constructive. Mm-hmm.
thought about it, and like after they defeated them, basically they were like, "Oh, I can actually defeat them. I do have purpose."
Yeah, exactly. It took them a while to discover their purpose is not to hide. You know, their purpose is to go home, to find Gorgon, you know, to live in peace, you know, to have their justice. And in the end, they got it. So in 2021, what that tells me is that us Black people, we will be able to get our justice and our peace. We just have to um, remember our purpose is not to hide from white supremacy, hide away from the system, but to fight it, just like the Gorgonites did versus the Commandos. Is that correct?
Yes, but can I ask something for you? From your on what you're saying, I'm gonna say that it's different. The at the end they could be free. They had that they free and enslaved like completely. They are free, but in our while we was enslaved, and then we know that we're free, but we didn't know we were actually free. We were still slave. It's now. It's still now. We are still slave. But the electronics, when they free, they be free forever. They're not slave anymore, but we still enslaved, but in a different way. That doesn't make no sense. I'm still trying to figure out. Doesn't make no sense. That really doesn't make no sense. Really does not make no sense. Really.
Thank you, Miss Leia. I didn't hear a question in that. So if you want to rephrase the question, be my guest.
Who, me?
Uh-huh. I thought you wanted to ask a question.
Oh yeah. Why does the one that who killed the other team could be free and slave forever, but not be in, but they're not gonna be slave anymore or free. But why I still be enslaved right now, but in a different way?
I'm still not.
Okay, let me say it one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Why does the end of the story, how that, why does it, he could be out of slave like completely, but we were still not enslaved, but we're still enslaved in a different way. But why are we still enslaved but the other ones are not enslaved?
You're saying why are we still enslaved, like us in real life, 2021 right now?
Yes, and why those electronics aren't free? I mean, are uh, aren't enslaved.
Mm. Well, if I'm hearing you correctly, we are still enslaved because racism, white supremacy is still on the planet, and we as non-white people, especially Black people, we haven't done anything to replace white supremacy with justice. And the movie, the Gorgonites, they become free in a sense where there's no more commandos who are hunting them out to kill them anymore, but they are still living in a world dominated by racism and white supremacy. So they're not really free either. They're just free to live in that little area of the world, in that little lake area. So no one is really ever free anywhere if they're on if they're in a planet with a system of racism. So I hope I answered your question. I don't know because I'm having a hard time understanding your question.
Oh, that's good. That's the right answer.
All right. Are there any final comments? Leia, Evelyn, Z, you guys would like to share?
Hey, hold on. Hey, Zeri. Do you
What?
might have time? Do you might have time to play?
We'll talk about that after the meeting's done recording. Yes. But I I really don't have anything. It's just that I think that they should have attacked and or at least got it out of a plan. Or I think they and uh, I think they shouldn't have made that toy for kids because if they can do all that burning up stuff and like what's it called tie them up, then that's not even a kid toy. But yeah, I really
Yeah, I got another comment.
and Evelyn said she doesn't want to say anything.
Okay, I think I'm still hating the man and the boss because I hate the boss. I really hate the boss. More, I hate the boss. I I just don't want to like it. I just don't like it. I don't like the movie. No, I hate it.
Very understandable. Very understandable.
I said that I hate this movie. I just don't like it.
Oh, very understandable. It's a racist movie, so not many reasons to like anything racist.
No, I just hate it. I hated the boss of this character. You should have fired him. Because look, if this man who created this was a black man, this white man would have been fired him. But he's not. He's white.
Yeah, I think that I think the same. I don't think they should.
Understood. Thanks for the closing comments, everyone. For me, I thought this movie was quite hilarious. I think it's very telling of racism, white supremacy, what it is and how it works. Particularly in Area 9, war slash counter war, psychological warfare, chemical warfare. Both were mentioned in this film. Both were displayed in this film as well. And chemical warfare, psychological warfare has been used to absolutely destroy and control Black people across the planet. So this is a very significant film in the system of white supremacy. Small Soldiers, the film title, Small Soldiers. Every single white person in the system of white supremacy is a small soldier. They do their part in the race war against us, and it's our job to produce our own small soldiers, which is any victim who will do what they can to counter the war against us. So, like this shot right here, question reality. We should always be questioning what we're seeing, what we're looking at, because apparently white people have been doing it for a long time. Remember, Alan's a child in this movie, and he has this on his computer. So white people have been trained to think and question everything, where non-white people have been trained to hide. So we should want to correct this problem immediately. Yes, Leah?
I got a question for you. Okay. Not a question. I got a comment.
Uh-huh.
The heck? Why is a kid? He's so smart about this toy. But if the black people were in this story, the house situation, the white people will be in the right. Because if you have a black movie in this situation, this black movie will be different. If I had this white one, and because this kid is so smart. I mean, how this kid is so smart about this toy? That's why. That's why. Why?
Thank you, Ms. Leah. I think that will conclude our discussion decoding of 1998's Small Soldiers. Thanks everyone for participating.